So, hi everyone. We will start the session. I will share my screen. Uh, Shamruti, I'm not able to share my screen. Can you give me the access?
Can you check now?
Okay, okay. Oh, not text. Actually, I meant to name one is Jenny Raja Singh, another also Jenny Raja Singh. So,
Yeah,
it,
I gave access to both now. Can you please check?
okay, so, okay, okay. So, yeah, I'm able to. Thanks.
No problem.
Okay. So, okay, just give me a minute. I will open my SAS and then I will just. Okay. So today, last week we have seen about loops. We have seen different types of loop. Uh, so loop is something like you have a code which will be ran multiple times. Okay, there are different types of loop. Why we are using it is for a repetitive task, and it is very efficient and flexibility. We have seen the syntax first do keyword starts with the do. Then what is the okay? Maybe it will confuse you. I will go to the do loop strictly. So in do loop, first we will start with the keyword do, and then whatever letter you want, you can give. And then you have to give the starting number where the iteration start, and then sorry disconnected. Share my once again. Okay. So we have okay, we have seen nested do loop. In nested do loop, we will have multiple do loops. For the starts with the first loop, and second also we can you have to give the do loop after the first statement, and then there will be two end statements. Since we are using two do statements, you have to use that end statement at last. Okay, so this is the nested loop. Uh, and do until. So here the condition will execute until the condition become true. So until the loan becomes zero, it will keep on executing this line. Okay, so until means until this condition become true, the below statement will be executed. Do while is also similar to until, but the concept is a little bit different. So here, while the condition is true, while the condition is true, the below statement will run. So until the loan is greater than zero, while the loan is greater than the zero, the below statement will be executed. Okay. Okay. So today what we will see is we will see a SAS function. So in most of the pharma companies, they use this function to perform the mathematical calculations and statistical analysis. So when your data has, you want to do some analysis, you can use the SAS functions. So there are three different functions there. One is numerical functions and another is character and conversion function. Okay. Generally SAS function, I will start with the example. Uh, okay. So suppose I have a data. Okay. I have some 10% site. Okay. Or some 3% site. Okay. And I want to find sum. Okay. So I want to find the sum. Then what you can do is you can use the sum function. And then if you give a I here, it will calculate the sum. Okay, so generally, if you want to perform some function means it will perform certain analysis. So certain task. So you have to give the function name first. After that, open the bracket and then give the variable name or give the column name. Okay, and then end the bracket. Okay, so generally in function, first you have to give the function name, open the bracket, and then give the variable name or sometimes column name also we will give. Okay, and then if you run, it will give the sum of the product. We will see one example, simple example. We have seen on data set, right? SAS self class. So we have seen this data set previously. We have the data about different students, age, height, and weight. Okay, now I want to add height and weight. Okay, and I want to get the sum of height and weight for each students. I want to add height plus weight. Okay. Uh, so I will first use the keyword and then I will tell the library name uh, and then the example output name. I'm just giving sum. So my output will be stored in the name of sum. And then I'm using set statement. And then I'm going to read the data set from SAS self library. And the data set name is class. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to add I'm going to add age, height, and no, I'm going to add height and weight. So I'm going to create a new variable, height plus weight. Okay. So after that, you have to give the variable name. So now what it will do is it will create a new variable. For each student, it will add height plus weight. So here if you see for each student, the height plus weight is added. So using this function, uh, you can add the column values. Okay. So using this okay, so this is height plus weight using plus symbol. Okay. Similarly, if you use the function sum, comma, bracket, another column. Okay. So here, if you give this, this will also give the same value. Okay. So using some function, you can create a new variable. It will add the height weight. Similarly, if you want to add one more column, age also, now it will add height, weight, age. Okay, so it is adding age plus height plus weight. So using this sum function, you can add sum the values of height plus weight. You can sum the values of different columns. Okay, so this is one example. We will see some other functions also like sum. So what we are going to see now is we are going to see numerical functions. So first we will see mathematical functions. Mathematics, we will have addition, subtraction, multiple division, rounding, and all right. So we will see different functions like sum, maximum, minimum, round, log, exponential. Okay, so we will see these functions. Okay, so first example, I'm creating one clinical trial example. So I'm having three patients ID, patient one, patient two, patient three, and then I'm having your data for systolic blood pressure value. So the second column is systolic blood pressure, and the third one is diastolic blood pressure. So we have the three patients' blood pressure value. Uh, Okay, so we have patient ID, systolic, diastolic blood pressure values. Now I'm going to read this data set, some examples. So I'm using a set statement. After that, I'm going to add the two different blood pressure, systolic and diastolic. I'm going to add. and then I'm going to create a variable name blood pressure sum. Okay, so this is nothing but sum of systolic and diastolic blood pressure. This will add this two column values. So we have a new variable is created, new column is created, blood pressure. Okay. So this is one example. So in clinical trial also, the pharma companies, the programmers use this function. Okay, when they do some analysis, uh, but it's a very basic one. We will create another one. We will see example for maximum. So for maximum also, I have the same data set, patient ID, systolic blood pressure, and diastolic blood pressure. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix blood pressure type as maximum value. Whether systolic blood pressure is high, obviously it will be systolic blood pressure will be high. But if you want to see the maximum value among this two blood pressure type, you can use this maximum function. It will be which one is maximum, and that maximum value will be stored in the new variable. Okay, if system value is maximum, then it will be stored under blood pressure maximum column. Okay, now you can see here the values are created, new variable is created. Uh, you can, it is loading. Um, So here if you see blood pressure maximum, the new variable is created. The whichever is maximum, it will be stored here. First one for first patient, 130. For second patient, 140 is the maximum blood pressure. And third patient, the blood pressure maximum value is 120. Okay. Similarly, we can create just maximum variable using this function. Okay, now what we will see is we will see another function, minimum. Uh, so in this minimum example, we have the same data set, systolic blood pressure and diastolic blood pressure. So here we have two different types of blood pressure. And if you want to see minimum, you can use the minimum value of this. You can use this minimum function, MIN. So, and then bracket give the two variable names, systolic and diastolic. So first I will run this. Okay. So here, if you see the new variable is created, minimum, whichever blood pressure is minimum, it will be stored here. Okay. So this is for minimum. Okay. Now we will see one more thing called round. Okay. Uh, so here we have a three patient ID, their weight and height are there. So I'm having a weight in night, right? Okay. Now I'm going to create a new variable from this data set called BMI. For BMI formula is weight divided by height square. Yeah, height. First we will divide by 100 and then we will square that. Okay. So if you divide weight divided by height square, you will get some decimal values. Okay. Something like 1.1. For first patient, you may get something like 2.3 or 4.3. Okay. If you want to round that value, if it is 4.6, if you use the round function, it will become 5. Okay. If you get 4.2, then it will become 4. Okay. So using this round function, you can round off the value. Okay. The rule is very simple. It's if it is 4 to 4.4, then it will consider 4. Okay, round function. If it is 4.5 to 4.9, it will take it as 5. Okay, round function. So what now BMI will be created. After that, BMI value will be rounded. That will be stored in this variable. So here, our source data is here, height and weight. Now we will run this code with this round function. So if you see BMI, you're 2.8. Okay, okay, one. Okay. So round give the variable name. After that, it will become. So- okay. So initially it is 2.8. So it will convert it to 23. Initially BMI value is 24.69. This is also greater than zero point 0.5. So it will become 25. 23.03, still it will be 23. Okay, using this function, you can round off this value. Okay. So these are all the numerical mathematical functions we have seen. Okay, these are all simple mathematical functions, some minimum, maximum, round. Now we will see statistical functions. Okay. Statistical is nothing but you would have learned mean, median, right? So average is a statistical term. So for this, we are going to use the same data set, but additionally, we are having a cholesterol. Along with the blood pressure value, we have cholesterol value for 5 different patients. So first one is patient ID, systolic, diastolic, and blood, the cholesterol value. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the mean of systolic and diastolic blood pressure. Uh, 1 minute. Okay. So now what we are going to do is we are going to use the function name called mean. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to find the average of blood pressure value. Okay. So what is the average of 130 and 85? So what is the average of 140 and 90? What is the average of 120, 80? So this function will find the average value of blood pressure. Uh, and then for each patient, it will find the average value, mean value. Okay. So here, if you see average, it is taking mean. Okay. So before seeing this output, I have one question. Uh, can you tell me what is the difference between mean, median, and mode? If anybody know what is mean, median, mode, or what is the difference between, you can put it in chat. What is the difference between mean, median, mode? Anybody knows what is mean, median, mode? Okay, no problem. I will explain. Okay. Suppose you have a blood pressure reading of five subjects. Okay, mean is average, good. Okay, mode is most frequent. Okay. Okay. And median. Okay, perfect, correct. Okay, I see. Being perfect, it is correct. Okay, we will see one example. Okay, we have a 3% blood pressure value. Okay, now I want to calculate the mean. Mean is average value. Okay. So what we will do is we will add all the blood pressure values and divided by number of subjects. Okay, number of observation. There are three data are there. So divided by three. That will be, it will be like 250, divided by 3. That will be 130. Okay. So mean is 130. Okay. Now we will see what is median. Median is center value. Okay. So here, what is the center? You have to first arrange the data in a ascending order or descending order, and then you have to find which is center value. Okay. Middle value. Your 130 is the center value. So median is 130. Now most frequent value. Okay, sorry. Mode is most frequent value. Okay. Okay, here all there is no single frequent value. Nothing is repeated twice, okay, or thrice. 120 occur once. Okay, 130 occur once. 140 occur once. That way, mode we will have three mode value. Okay. For example, here we will have one more blood pressure value, 120. Then here the mode value will be 120 here. Okay, so these are all mean, median, mode. We will see using our code, we will find mean, median. So now what we are doing is for systolic and among systolic and diastolic, we will find the mean value. Okay. So all we will do is it will be for me 130 plus 85 divided by 2. One for this patient 140 plus 90 divided by 2. So here if the average value as I mentioned it will add and then divided by 2 you will get this average BP value. Okay, now for example, median, right? Median, we will do one thing. Okay, so for median, what we will do is we will find median among blood pressure, diastolic, systolic, blood pressure, diastolic, cholesterol. Among this, which is median value. Okay, so first 85 will be first one, second will be 130, cholesterol will be third value. Okay, so it will be like this. The first we will arrange the data in ascending order and then 200. Okay. If you apply median here, then the center value is 130. Okay. So our code will find the median value among this. So if you want to find median, put all the variable names here. Okay, so it will calculate median among systolic blood pressure, diastolic blood pressure, cholesterol. So here the median value is 130, median 140, a median 120, and here the for fourth patient median is 150, and for final patient median is 135. So this is for median. Okay, now we will see one example. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is just for me mode purpose, I'm changing the cholesterol value. It is just a dummy value. Okay. Uh, So what it will do now, I will find median for this mode. Okay. Okay. Now we will use the mode code. Okay. Now what we are going to do is we are going to find a mode. I think the mode function name is different, I guess. 1 minute. Let's check. Just a minute. I'm checking the mode name. The mean median is straightforward. So if you give mean median, it will calculate. I think for mode, there is some other term, I guess. Uh, I think some questions I didn't notice. Okay, yes, Swati. Okay, yeah, he was also correct. Okay, when you have asked, yeah, yeah. Is there any comment that display? Yes, there is a code, but we will see later. But since you have asked, I will tell that code. Okay, in a single line of code, which will tell all the descriptive information. Okay. I think SAS don't have inbuilt function for mode, but there is one more way. Okay. Now my data set is clinical trial stat. Okay. When you have asked how to display all the descriptive information, right? Or how to display all the statistical measures. Okay. There is something called proc. Okay. Proc means procedure. And then there is something called prog descript summary. Sorry. And then data. What is the data set name? If you give this data set name and then run just a two line of code, it will display all the descriptive information or statistical measure. One minute, I will tell. Okay, we just forgot, just use a means function. What it will do is means procedure. It will calculate just a two line of code, prop, and then the procedure name means, and then data. What is the data set name? Data set data equal to what is the data set name we are clinical trial stats. Okay, so what it will do is it will calculate the all the descriptive measures for all the numerical variable. Okay, for systolic blood pressure, what is the mean? For systolic blood pressure, what is the standard deviation? For systolic blood pressure, what is the minimum value? And what is the maximum value? For diastolic blood pressure, there are five observations are there, five patients are there. 87.6 is the average value, 5.5 is the standard deviation, minimum diastolic blood pressure among patients are 80. The maximum blood pressure, diastolic blood pressure among patients is 95. Minimum cholesterol is 80 among five patients. The maximum cholesterol is 150 among five patients. Okay. So this is the single code which will give all the descriptive information. Okay. If you want more information, if you want mode also, you can after this data set name, you can give mode. Actually, there is no repetitive value among this data. That's why it's not giving mode. If you want mode, we have to modify some data sets. Yeah. Uh, So in systolic, I'm giving for two patients, I'm giving 130, 130. Okay. So now let's underscore. Okay, so your now mode is calculated. Okay. Similarly, if you want only mean, you can put mean. It will display only the average value. But if you don't display any, if you don't add anything here, by default, it will display four values: mean, standard deviation, minimum value, maximum value. Okay. If you don't put anything, and if you want to put, you can put it here. Okay. So these are all the statistical functions. Don't confuse with prof procedures and all. So for mode, there is no inbuilt thing. We have to use the prof, but there are other SAS code for mean. You can calculate median also. Okay. So okay, mean median. You can use the SAS functions. Similarly, if you want to calculate standard deviation, what is the variability? Standard deviation means the variability, okay, the variance. I will maybe explain what a standard deviation means. Standard deviation, okay. For example, we have five patient data, okay, and all five patients, the blood pressure is 120, then standard deviation is zero, okay. Okay, the standard deviation will be zero because all the values are same. But generally standard deviation mean what is the data point value minus mean value. Okay. So what we will see here, the mean value is 120, right? So mean is also 120, data point is also 120. So here the standard deviation is zero. Okay. But here, for example, here we have 130, 150. Then the mean value will be something like 150, something like 135 mean value will be there. Okay, so then what we will do is each data point we will subtract with the median mean value. Okay, and then for standard deviation, we will sum this off. We will square this value. Okay. So standard deviation is nothing but the change in value from the average value. Okay, if all the values are same, standard deviation will be zero. Okay, but all the generally in real world, nothing, no data will have standard deviation of zero. All the values will change from the mean average value. Okay, so what is the deviation from the average value? Standard deviation means. For that, if you want to calculate the standard deviation, similarly, you can put what are all the variable name you want. You can give. Okay. So this is one function, and there is another function is called correlation function. Okay. So I have a data set of 5 patients. Okay. 5 patient I test 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, 5.5. Okay. So this is 5 patient data. And for the same patient, we have the weight also. The first person weight is 51, second person weight is 52, third person weight is 54, fifth patient weight is 55. Okay. Uh, Now, if you see, when the person height increases, the weight is also increases, right? Generally, when height increases, person weight also increases. So there is something called correlation between height and weight. Okay. So there is a correlation between height and weight. For example, there are three different types of correlation: positive correlation, negative correlation, and no correlation. Positive correlation means when height increases, weight also increases. Okay. So when one variable increases, other variable decreases. Okay. Other variable also increases. Sorry, my SAS is disconnected. 1 minute. Okay. So when one variable increases, other variable increases. That means positive correlation. Okay. Generally, the positive correlation value will be like 0 to 1. So using SAS, we will calculate the correlation value. Okay. So when your correlation value is 0 to 1, that means you have a positive correlation. Negative correlation means when one variable increases, other variable decreases. Okay. For example, when temperature increases, the crop production will decreases, right? When there is a rainfall, crop production will increases. But when temperature increases, crop production will decreases. This is one example of negative correlation. No correlation beats two variable doesn't have any relation. Okay. For example, you have one variable called temperature, another variable weight. Do you think any this two variable will have any relation? No, right? So generally, these variables will not have any relation. Okay. So negative correlation means you will have value from -1 to 0. Okay. Not 0. Yeah. Okay. No correlation. Okay. -1. So any positive values from 0 to 1, that is positive correlation. Any negative values lies between -2, 1, 0, that is negative correlation. No correlation means 0. Okay. So even if you get minus 0.01, okay, if you get a negative correlation like 0.0, sorry, 0.01, that means it has a mild negative correlation. Okay. If you have a -1 exactly, then you have a strong negative correlation. Value decreases, then the magnitude will also decreases. Okay. If you have a perfect one, then you have a perfect positive correlation. If you have -1, then you have a perfect negative correlation. Zero means there is no relation. Now, what we will do is we will calculate the correlation between systolic blood pressure and systolic blood pressure. So we will use a function called for. So for correlation, we have used something called. Okay. We have a procedure for that. Okay. So there is something called var. Var means variable. Give this two variable names. So it is telling the correlation between systolic blood pressure and diastolic blood pressure is 0.99. Okay. That means it has a very strong relationship between diastolic blood pressure. Okay. So it has very strong correlation between systolic blood pressure and diastolic positive correlation. So if you want correlation, you can use PROC-COR. In function, it is there, but it is very complicated one. This is PROC-COR. Okay, we will see the character function next. So now we have seen all the numerical variable data, right? Now we will see the character variable. I have the clinical trial data set, patient ID, patient name, and then what is the drug they are taking. Okay, first person taking aspirin, second person ibuprofen, third person paracetamol, fourth one is metformin, fifth patient is taking atorvastatin. Okay. Now we will run this data set. Okay. Now what I want to do is there are so many functions for character variable. Okay. Uh, leave about sub-history function. Okay. Now I have a variable called drug. Okay. I will do that. Okay. Now, just for example, my some of my data. Okay. For example, in my data, aspirin, the A is in small letter. Okay. And in paracetamol, P is in small letter. Okay. Okay. So in aspirin, paracetamol, it is not reading full data, but I will tell you what to do. Okay. Now, because we have to give the number here to read that. Okay. Just for example, if the A I want to change it to capital and P I want to make it capital. Okay. For that, there is something called uppercase. Okay. So if you use the uppercase and then if you give the drug, the capital letter will become the all the initial letter, it will become capital. Okay. So your aspirin now uppercase, all the characters become uppercase. Okay, not only initial. I think if you want to make only initial, you have to give comma one. If you give, I guess. Let me check. No. I think there is another function which will convert only the, but this one will convert the entire lowercase into uppercase. Okay, all the letters will convert it to uppercase. Okay. Similarly, if you want to change the capital letter into lowercase, if there is one function called lowercase, if we use this, the name will be converted into lowercase. Okay. Okay. Now there is one more function called length. Okay. What it will do is it will capture what is the length of the name. How many letters are there? Okay. So aspirin, there are eight, the length is eight. Okay. Now SAS is reading only eight character. That's why it is telling length. But if you have an actual length, it will say. So these are all basic function. Okay. What is upcase means? It will convert the all the alphabets into uppercase. Lowercase means even if the name has some uppercase, it will change it to lowercase. Okay. And then we have seen something called length function. Okay. Now we have some other function which will be little bit advanced, but I will explain what it is. Okay. Okay. So in sub-STR means, for example, if you want to read only the first four letters, then give the name. So we have name, right? John Doe, Jane Doe, Smith, Mike Lee, right? So I want to read only the first four letters. Okay. Then what you can do is you can use the sub-STR function. Okay. You can tell what is the variable name and then what is the starting position of the word and where you want to end. Okay. So here in first it will take first four letters, second also four letters, and here also it will take only N, and then here it will take star. Okay. So this function, what it did is it will take only first four letters of the name. So this is substr means substring. Okay, string means character variable. Substring means we are going to extract only part of the string variable. Okay. Now there is something called index function. Okay. Index function will tell if you give some symbol or alphabet, it will tell what is the position of that particular alphabet or particular symbol. Now we are telling what is the position of this symbol. Okay. So the for the first patient, the position will be 5. For second patient, the position will be 5. Third patient, the position will be 5. For fourth patient, the position will be 6. Okay. For fifth patient also, position will be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay. So it is telling 5, 5, 5, 5, 6. Okay. The position of that symbol. Now, if we have seen one function called sub-str, right? We are telling where to, if we have to end the position of that position of the word, right? So at end position, if I give this index function, it will smoothly take the first name. Okay. Okay, it is taking from. Okay. So what I will do is index function -1. If I give -1 here, the symbol will be gone. So you see, for all the name, we have the first name is taken properly. Okay. So initially we have given 4. Okay. So it didn't take properly. Now using index function, we are finding the what is the position of that hyphen underscore. Okay. Sorry. Now the after that what we are doing is we are putting -1. So for each patient the index will differ. For first patient the index will be 5, so 5 minus 1 it will be 4. For second patient also index will be 5, 5 minus 1 4. For fourth patient, the index will be 6. So 6 minus 1, 5. Okay. So using this function, we can extract the part of our character variable. There is something called compress function. Okay. If you want to remove any symbol or alphabet, you can put the variable name, comma, and then inside double quotes or single quotes, put that underscore or symbol or any alphabet you can put. Okay. So now we are going to remove the underscore from our name variable. This function will simply remove whatever you are putting inside this single quotes or double quotes. Okay. So in name, initially we had underscore, we have removed that underscore here. If you want to remove A from here, you can put A. So in fifth patient name is Sarah, right? There is A. So it will remove this A from the patient name. Okay. So whatever you are giving inside the codes, it will be removed. Okay. So compress function is used to remove some symbol, alphabets, or letters from the character variable. Okay. Okay. So we have covered numerical function. We have covered character function. There is one function for conversion function. We will see it next week. So well, I think we have taken so much time. Okay. So that's it from my side. If you have any questions, let me know. In numerical function and character function for if function, if and do loop, I haven't given an assignment. Maybe I will give an assignment together for do and function and all. So I will send it by today or tomorrow. If you have any questions until now, you can like otherwise we will close this session for now. Okay. So I will take it. Is there any question? Yeah, okay. Okay, I will take it as no. If you have any questions, you can WhatsApp me also. You can ask in group also. Uh, okay. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, everyone. We will see next week. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.